the new rich content editor in Canvas. You see the new user interface here on the left, and for comparison purposes we have the old rich content editor interface up here on the right. First thing you may notice is that there's now a menu bar in the new interface, which contains access to, or provides access to, all of the editor functions in the rich content editor. That didn't exist before. Also, in the old editor, we had a two-line control bar containing everything from text editing icons to media insertion and other types of icons. That control bar still exists, but it's been compacted down to a single line. And all of the functionality that was in the two lines of icons before over here is now available in this single line by the inclusion of a number of menus that we'll take more detailed look at in a moment. You'll also note the absence in the new interface of the so-called content selector over on the right here in the old interface. This content selector allowed you to add links, files, and images to your Canvas pages, instruction sets, discussion posts, wherever you had the rich content editor. It allowed you to add links, files, and images that were internal to your Canvas course, as opposed to links to content outside of Canvas out on the web. That functionality has also been subsumed into this single control bar and into the menus here, so that we no longer need a separate structure like this to allow us to create internal links in our Canvas documents. Thoroughly more logical and more efficient arrangement. Now let's take a quick tour through the menu options and control icons in the new interface. In the Edit menu, we have something that was desperately needed in the old editor, an undo function, so we can cancel the last screw-up we made in creating our documents in Canvas, and correspondingly a redo option, something that was terribly missing from the old interface. Then we have the standard cut, copy, paste, and paste as text options, as well as an option to select everything in the document. Under View, we now have the option for a full screen editor view, which we did not have before. We click on that, the editor goes to full screen. We can bring it back to its normal display by pressing the Escape key on the keyboard. Under View, you also have the option to enter HTML editing mode, which is enhanced from the previous editor. You can also access that option from this icon down here in the lower right. The Insert menu is quite a bit more extensive. This is where we can insert all sorts of content other than text into the menu. We can insert links, both external and internal, or course links. So we can do hyperlinks to content outside of Canvas and course links to content inside of Canvas through this button. We can also upload images, new images into Canvas to use in a document, or we can access course images from our course files and from our personal file space. These two, of course, were previously done through the content selector over here, which we no longer need as a result. Here, media, we can upload or record media or access media that we've already uploaded to our course files or personal files and insert those into a document. And we can insert other documents. We can upload documents like Word documents or PDFs new to a particular document we're creating in the RCE, or we can access documents that we've already uploaded to our course files or our personal file space in Canvas. internal documents. Again, these two were handled through the content selector before, which we no longer need as a result. This menu also gives us access to the equation editor, very similar to the one we had before. It allows us to create tables and manage them. And we have an embed option here, which will allow us to embed video from sites like YouTube into our course documents. And for the first time, we have the option to insert a horizontal rule in our document. The Format menu has all of the text formatting options in it, the usual bold, italic, underlined, strike through, and so on. Superscript, subscript, and we have a new format designation for computer code. Under Formats here, we can select headings, a more extensive set than we had before, inline styles. We can set up blocks of text as paragraphs, block quotes, divs, and pre-formatted text. And we can align text, left, center, right, and full justification. We now have the option to select or at least suggest fonts, which we did not have in the old editor at all. Our choice of fonts, of course, is somewhat limited in HTML to what the viewer of our Canvas pages or discussion posts or whatever have on their computers. So if someone doesn't have Book Antigua on their computer, who is viewing a document or a web page that you've created in the rich content editor, they're not going to see that font. They're going to see some substitution that their web browser makes for it, another serif font of some sort. But at least you have the capability now to at least suggest the fonts that you'd like your content to appear in. Here's another way to access font sizes, as we had before, but in a somewhat more efficient location. Here are our alignment options again. And this editor has the ability to handle languages that reading directions right to left, as well as the left to right we're familiar with in English. From this menu, we can also set text color, background color for text, and we can clear all formatting that we have created and start over again. Sometimes a very useful thing to be able to do. Tools menu here, we can now get a word count, and we can access our apps, which were called external tools. In the old editor, they were accessed under the external tools icon here, the blue V. Now you'll find those in the tools menu under apps and in another place that we'll see in a moment. And finally, we have table tools here built into the menu that allow us to insert tables and control cell, row, and column formatting and numbers and other aspects of table creation. And we have a table properties link, as well as an option to delete a table that we're working on if we want to start over again on it. Almost all of these functions are in the menus here are duplicated in the control icon bar here. Here we have our font size for selected text, our block control, bold, italicize, underline, text color, background color, and superscript and subscript options, just as we did in the old rich content editor here, though they're arranged a little bit more compactly here. The link icon here is no longer just a single icon, but a menu, which allows you to create both external links and internal links, or course links. All of that's done from this single link tool now, rather than having to go to the content selector to create course links. your insert image icon, same icon we had before, but it is now a menu. Also, we can upload images that are not currently in Canvas from our local computer, or we can insert images that we have already uploaded to our course files or our personal file space on Canvas into whatever page or post or whatever we're working here in the rich content editor. The media icon is quite a bit different. It will allow us to upload or record media that we either have on our local hard drives or that we want to create from scratch. This gives you access to the webcam recorder that was previously a separate icon over here in the old rich content menu. You can also insert media which you have previously uploaded to course files or personal file space. We strongly recommend against using any part of this particular menu except perhaps for the record media icon. We do have access to Canvas Studio, which is a much more efficient content creation tool and a much better place to store your videos and audio files than putting them into your Canvas courses. If you use this tool to upload a video file, say, it will go into your Canvas course and count against your Canvas course file space, which is limited. The space, at least to the present time, in Canvas Studio is not so limited. So we caution against uploading videos to Canvas and would rather prefer you to do that through Canvas Studio. Then finally, we have a Documents menu here, which will allow us to link documents into our Canvas page or whatever, which we upload from our local computers or which we have already uploaded into our file space in Canvas, our course files or our personal file space. This button, the so-called Apps button, is a replacement for the External Tools button in the Rich Content Editor, and it contains the same options, and as more are added, they'll be available here under View All. This is where you'd find, for instance, the YouTube icon that you could use previously in the Rich Content Editor to search for videos on YouTube and embed them directly into your Canvas pages. That's here now under Apps and View All. And once you use an app in the course, they will be added to this menu and you won't have to go to View All. And here, curiously enough, we have our alignment tools, which are separated from the text editing tools here. I'm not quite sure why, but here's your option to left justify, center, or right justify text and objects in the content editor. These were separate icons. These three were separate icons in the old editor. So they've saved some space by putting them under this menu. Here are your lists options, and they're expanded. Several different types of bullets, numbered lists, lettered lists, and Roman numeral designated lists, all under this single menu here. And then finally we have our indent tools, both indent and outdent tools, again in a short menu here. Just to the left of those, we have an icon that will allow us to clear all formatting if we get things messed up to the point we need to start up all over again. And here also are our table tools that we saw in the table menu here, basically the same set of tools. Here we also have our math equation editor. And finally, an embed tool, which is the one that we would expect you to use or would hope you would use when embedding video from sites other than Canvas Studio. If you're embedding video from Canvas Studio, you'll use the Apps button here and select Canvas Studio. But if you're embedding from something like YouTube or TED or other sites where you might find videos that provide embed codes, you'll just paste those embed codes into this box here and click Submit. And just to round things out here at the bottom, we have our keyboard shortcuts, as before, our accessibility checker, our word count, an option to enter HTML editing mode, an icon allowing us to full screen the editor, and one brand new icon here which we can use to just lengthen the working window of the RCE if we just need a little bit more space to make things a little bit easier to work with. Let's look now at how we would accomplish a number of common tasks in the new Canvas Rich Content Editor relative to how we did those same things in the old Content Editor interface. Let's just start with basic text editing. There's not much difference there. You can certainly type into the editor box here. And the process is pretty much the same to bold, italicize, underline, just as we had over here in the old editor. Got the ability to change text color, just as we did before. Fairly similar interface, and text background. So we can make it very hard to read. We've got subscript and superscript, where before we had separate subscript and superscript options over here. Now we just have one menu. So if I type H2O, it's very easy for me to subscript the two by picking subscript instead of superscript here. Not much to that. We've also got alignment tools, as we had before. They are in a menu now, as opposed to being separate. Makes them more compact. Maybe not quite as convenient, but still functional. If I highlight text, I can left justify, center, or right justify the text. I can also add bullets. And I have more where I had just a couple of bullet options before, separately listed on in the icon bar. I now have more options, and it's very simple to select them. Pick the one you want, and just continue. And so on. Our indentation options have now been put into a menu as well, so that indent and outdent are accessed through this same icon here. If I want to indent my formula here, I can just put my cursor there and click the indent, or vice versa. To create hyperlinks to content, I can use my link menu now, as evidenced by the chain link icon, and I can insert both external and internal or course links here, whereas before I had to use the content selector in the old interface to do internal links. For instance, I might link to the TED Talk website by providing a text anchor. I could also use an image as an anchor, of course. And I can click external link. The text is already there, and I can just type in TED.com. And that's now an external web link. To link to internal content, I again just need to provide an anchor of some sort. And highlight the anchor and go to course links into the links menu. And I'm provided with all the different sorts of links I can create. In this case, I can create a link to a quiz. And there's the one right there that I want. I just click on it. And this is now an internal link to a quiz in this course. I could also link to something in the navigation bar, like my course modules. Same process. Course links. I can go to course navigation and select the modules. And again, this previously would have had to be done in the content selector over here in the old rich content editor. I would use the links tab here for that. To embed images is even easier now. If I want to upload an image from my local hard drive into this page, I just click Upload Image, and I can click on that image there, that icon, and just find an image in my pictures file. Let's just try Bullwinkle. I can add alt text and submit. And there he is. And I now have good image editing tools. Or image resizing tools. I can grab the corners there. And I can, of course, change alignment on images as well. So within reason, as is usually the case with HTML, I can put that image where I want it. From the same menu, I can also insert images from either my course files or my personal user files on Canvas. These are the images currently stored in this course. I can pick any one I like and insert that into this burgeoning document. And I can, after insertion, if I click on the image, I get image options. So I can do things like provide alt text, or I can mark it as a decorative image in this case, where that does not require alt text. Next in line here is our Insert Media icon. This has changed a good deal since the old rich content editor. It was right here. Insert Edit Media. Looks quite a bit different than it does now. And it's, if anything, simpler now. I have the option here to upload or record media. That replaces the old recorder tool over here in the old rich content editor. There's no reason not to use the recorder here to record a brief talking head type video through your webcam. It's just a webcam recorder. It's the same one that's in Canvas Studio, same one that's always been in Canvas. We very much advise against uploading video files directly into your Canvas course. You don't have enough space in your Canvas course to really accommodate them, at least a large number of them, and also it's very difficult to make them accessible in that way, to have them be captioned. So we very much discourage that. We would much recommend that you use Canvas Studio instead, and we'll show how that works with the editor here in a moment. Similarly, we would hope that you don't have a lot of video files stored in your course media or user media on Canvas. We can now go to our Insert File or Document icon here. This, again, was functionality that was found in the Files tab of the old Rich Content Editor and the Content Selector over here. We can upload a document and link it into this Developing Canvas page here by selecting that option, clicking on the Launchpad icon, selecting a document, and clicking Open, and then Submit. And there's a link to the document, including its, in this case, its file extension, which we could probably get rid of. If we just want the text link, we can leave it that way, or we can go to Link Options and select Automatically Open an Inline Preview. If I do that and click Done, I don't see any change immediately, but if I save this document and scroll down, when this document loads, when the Canvas page loads that we're creating here, we'll actually see the document in question. That is, of course, an optional means of presentation of the document, but that's how you accomplish that sort of thing in the new Rich Content Editor. Go back into edit mode here and keep looking. We can also insert documents that are already loaded into our course files or our personal user files by selecting those options and picking a, let's see here, we've got a syllabus here somewhere. There we go. And we have the same options with that link, should we desire it. Now we come to the all-important ways to embed media, notably video, into your Canvas pages. One such way would use this Apps icon here. This is a replacement for the External Tools icon, the blue V in the old RCE. And if we click on that down caret, we get a menu of available external sources for content. Canvas Studio being a great option. We can click there and upload a Canvas Studio video from our Canvas Studio library. Actually not upload it, but simply embed it into this page, link to it, if you will. And there's our Canvas Studio video. We can also embed YouTube videos that we can search for using this tool, which is the replacement for the little YouTube icon in the old Rich Content Editor bar. I can search for a particular subject, pressing Enter. Select a video to embed. I have control over the size, the embed, and bingo. There's a YouTube video that I can use in my instruction. I can also embed videos from YouTube or any other site that provides so-called embed codes using this Embed tool, which is brand new. This was functionality formerly buried here under the Insert Edit Media tool in the Embed tab here. If I just click that Embed tool, I just need an embed code for a YouTube video. I've got one handy on my clipboard here, and click Submit. And there's a neatly embedded YouTube video. Hope these common task illustrations will help you out as you start acclimating yourself to the new Rich Content Editor in Canvas. Please let us know when you have questions.